Welcome to War Journal, Flames of War. And this podcast is our thoughts and discussions about the Flames of War games and other related interests. This episode is brought to you by Tracy George and Chaos Magic. We are not claiming to be experts of the game, but just wanted to have a casual conversation about Flames of War. Without any further delay, we now make our advance onto the podcast. And here are your hosts, Tracy and Arthur.
This is Tracy.
And I'm Arthur.
Welcome to War Journal, Flames of War, Episode 25, Commanders and Copperheads. What's on tap for today's episode, Arthur?
We have 5 topics of interest this week. We look at what's new on the Team Yankee's homepage and front page news. We discuss our progress with our own forces and our hobby. And that's new, we look at the Commander's rules. I'll talk about my favorite Team Yankee vehicle and keep your enemies close. And we end with a review of a Battlefront product.
Extra, extra, read all about it. Battlefront front page news.
All right, so we're going to look at Team Yankee's front page.
Not much to there, though. You're up there.
Yeah, well, they got the Leopard preview still for the West Germans coming in.
Yeah.
And they showed the models.
Yeah, I think a version of that was up last time we talked.
I think you're right. Yeah, and then, we're on there. Our podcast, they talk about our podcast being on there, and then my YouTube channel.
And your tutorials that
Yep.
we worked on.
So that's pretty neat to be up there. Moving on down, the usual, battle reports and demos going on. But they do have painting. So it looks like infantry, American and Soviet.
Yeah. I want to say that was up there last time.
Yeah, I think a lot of this was. There's Afghanistan. So really not too much new on the website.
Yeah.
So, except for they're trying to get their big push out for West Germans, which I know a lot of people are excited about.
Yeah, I am now. I'm looking forward to both the planes, though I have a feeling I want to know how many countries use tornadoes.
Yeah. Another one was the helicopter, because somebody commented it had like hot anti-tank missiles, and I don't know what those are, but it also had no chin guns. So I'm wondering if the Hinds scooted up on it within 8 inches to use their Gatling gun on it. What does this do for?
Can fire back.
Yeah,
because I think it just have the missiles.
Yeah,
but but they're not toes, are they?
He said they were hot, HOT.
So they might be missiles for surface to air as well as air to air.
All right. Well, I guess that's it for the Team Yankee front page.
Yep, it's kind of like it'll probably be light for a while. That isn't until the West Germans actually come out. Then we probably have lots to talk about.
Yes.
Our hobby.
All right, so we're going to talk about what we've been up to with modeling.
Yep, I have a lot.
Okay.
Last week I got a new package in for stuff I ordered from Battlefront.
All right.
Among the things were some magnets for my tanks, 2 boxes of M109s, my favorite toys, A-10s, and finally got my VATs in because I need some dedicated anti-air.
Yes.
I have plenty of anti-air, but I need some dedicated ones.
Yeah, yes, USA, even though they don't have dedicated, they do have a lot of anti-air out on the field.
Yeah, so I've been working on those as well as some of my old stuff. I finally fixed one of my tanks because while I primed it, the wind decided it didn't like my models, so it broke them. But it was on the glue line, so it was easy to fix when I got over the fact that nothing was going right. And I'm still waiting to fix my 66 because what I was going to do, I realized that wasn't going to work. But my friend said he has something he can give me to help me fix it.
Okay.
Some pins, that are specifically for what I need to do. So hopefully that should work, and then I will have 4 working tanks and then I have one more tank I could put together. Not counting the one I screwed up the turret, which I still have no idea how to fix that. When the sides just slip
You
down.
know, after you get it painted, nobody's probably ever going to notice.
Oh, it is big. It is a significant. It's almost all the way off.
Huh. Well, it's battle damage. Yeah,
maybe.
I mean, like my Cobra had the railing kind of destroyed a little bit because it was broken when I got it, and I just put it on anyway. I just say, yeah, it's just battle damage.
Yeah. Well, I also had a broken one, but I just got to replace. Well, if nothing else, if I can't get it unglued, I might just break it myself and then paint it as battle damage. But the new stuff, I think I have some issues with everything, as well as some progress on most of it. I have put together one M109, and I like it a lot. I haven't checked my second package, but on the first group of 3, there's stuff on the back. I forget what they call it. I think they dig into the ground to help push to keep it from when it fires. And out of the 6, there's like 2 things in the back, and one side's longer than the other.
Right.
One of my panels they're both the same size.
Oh.
So I talked to the forums about it, and someone suggested just getting some flat random piece of metal and trying to glue on there to match the same size. And even Phil Yates mentioned that I can just order from a contact
Customer
service, which I've done a lot. So, but it just feels kind of it doesn't feel significant enough to me because it's kind of hard to tell. So I might just either ignore it or just go with try to find a little piece of metal and glue it in. But the one I put together, I like. I have my 2 A10s. One is finished, assembled. The other one is mostly assembled. I just need to put the missiles on. Though I've been having some trouble. Some of the missiles I put on popped off. But when I'm trying to re-glue them, there's already some glue stuck in there. So it doesn't fit right. So I need to... This is going to be more of an issue to put on than normal. But I can still play with it because it's on a stand, and I have 6 other missiles I can put on there. So at least it looks like it had most of its guns. So
yeah, well, it's like you said, it looks like it's already fired some.
Yeah, and that's the idea I've had. Like when I first got it, is like ask people like, what does it look like when some missiles actually fired? And I might just, because I don't think it's just not putting them on there, because I think what I'm gluing on is the missile, and the mechanism is holding the missile in place.
Oh.
So the modeling for it actually fire, I'm assuming I probably got to hollow that out. So the mechanism is still there, but just have no missile. Which, the reason I thought of doing something like that is because I now know the cluster bombs are on the sides. And it might be interesting, or it might be, what I want to say, important, since the cluster bombs are a one-shot weapon, that if I can have a way to take them off, or have a plane that doesn't have them. So my opponent already knows, like, right, he already fired them, so.
Or yourself.
Or yourself. It's like, yeah, take these planes out. I'm using these now, because they don't have the cluster bombs.
I didn't even think about doing something like that.
Yeah.
Huh.
But that's something I want to do when I have way more skill in modeling. Especially not when I'm just having so many mistakes, just following instructions. But those are just some ideas and stuff I want to do. And I haven't put together the VAST yet. I've actually looked at it and realized I don't have any instructions online, which is disappointing. You mentioned they have the instructions in the back, but I'm not sure that's going to be enough, because the box has 4 sprues. So trying to figure out, because the normal assembly guide is so nice because it shows you right on the sprue what piece you're using. And there's probably a few pieces that look similar. So it's a good idea to know which one I'm using, as well as the orientation. Because even following instructions, I still managed to screw that up and put something upside down. But I'm going to take my time, really study the panels, and then start working on that probably tonight.
Awesome.
So,
Well, I got on mine camoed and everything, and I was like, I liked the camo, but I was not happy with the way it turned out.
like, everyone loved it, but you wasn't happy with the shade. You thought it was too light.
The yellowish kind of sand. It's actually Krylon camo sand color.
Yeah.
But when you put it like on any table, and especially I finally got when we played down in Oklahoma, the desert kind of look. Oh yeah, that's where it was. Man, they were like bright. I mean, the sand color was so much brighter than the table. And it was like, I'm just not happy with it. So I was talking to some people, and they said sepia shade. So I got some sepia shade and did one model. Oh, my gosh. Shade your models.
Yeah. It is a significant difference.
Oh, because it brings out all those details on that model. Now, I did matte coat it before I shaded it. Because I had them protected. Because I was like, okay, I'm done with the camo. I'm going to protect it so the paint doesn't come off. And I was like, oh, is shading is it still going to do its same thing with this matte coating on it compared to just going over to paint?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm so glad I did it because it brings all those details out. Plus, it darkened that yellow down to a much better color.
Yeah. I guess it looks more realistic, I guess, in a way. It very much looks like a desert camo now.
And it kind of goops up in some spots. I mean, because I kind of lathered it on. I try to clean it best. But what that does is it makes some places look a little dirty. I guess like it got stained there, which, tanks can't be perfect every time. So it kind of adds character, I think, to the tank. Now, I have seen videos where people talking about these are professional painters that do one model, like the 148 scale tank or whatever, and they put that down and they're lifting all the extra ink off these flat parts. No, I didn't do that. But I tell you what, there's some people on the Facebook and stuff, and they'll show the pictures, and I could tell they inked those because it just brings out all that detail. So, yeah, it did darken them. So you got to be careful about that. If you know you're going to be shading, it's going to darken the color. But, man, I think it's worth it. Now, if you're doing camo, I guess sepia or black shade. So I don't know what, because I guess I'd mind more camo.
Yeah.
So I guess you just got to be careful what color do you want to do the shading with, because it's going to change the colors on your model.
Yeah. I'm still kind of new to this, so I have no idea. So I probably want to get stuff painted. Go to that friend and ask him what he would suggest, because he's been painting for a while and he knows his stuff, so he probably could give me some good advice.
Yeah. Also, we've been playing that myth game, and I shaded those models, but I used black ink on those. And that seemed to really help with that. So I didn't do the sepia, except for I didn't do anything with the faces. I didn't, because I had a different ink for that. I had flesh tone ink or something like that you use. Yeah, and it just helped with the details on those models too. So yeah, shading, it's a simple technique, but man, is it effective.
All right. I'm getting closer there. I'll probably, within the next week or so, at the very least, I'll be painting the A10 as primed. Because I already have in my mind mostly about 80-90% of how I want to paint that. So that should go by, I think, fairly fast. But, now I said that, something else is going to go wrong when I try to paint that. But next week I should have or at least attempted a painted A10, if not both of them.
All right.
Keep your allies close, but keep your enemies closer.
All right, so it's your week, Arthur.
Okay, it's my week. Then let's talk about my favorite toy, the M109.
I never dreaded something that had a letter before it with 3 digits after it, as I have now. Well, it's not so much that.
Oh, it's the Copperheads?
Yep. Boom, bing, bing. So it's the M109. I can't even say it. That artillery thing you've got with the
Copperheads. The lovely, lovely Copperheads.
Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah, we'll get to why I don't like the Copperheads.
Yeah, so let's just go back into the general what the is. It's the U.S. artillery. The range for artillery is 96
Now,
inches.
is this a support or a formation?
Support.
Support, okay.
I wish it was a formation so bad. Oh my. But no, it's just support. The direct fire is 36 inches, so it's not that bad.
How many inches?
36.
Wow, that is pretty good. 'Cause, okay, what I've done is I've got my card for my artillery carnation. So we kind of do a little compare and contrast here, which I think would be kind of interesting. I only have 24 inch direct fire.
What's your anti-tank?
21.
That's where you beat me. My anti-tank is only 15, which in some battles I forgot.
Wow, that is a big
Yeah,
difference.
I forgot that because I'll fire. Okay, I can see your T-72s fire.
It's heat also. Is yours?
My straight shot, no.
Wow, see, mine's heat, so it wouldn't matter if I'm over 16. Wow, so that is a big difference.
Yeah, so you can hurt Abrams.
Yeah, but you can hit them further away than I can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I can't hurt T-72s.
Oh, that's true, because even if you're hitting, on the side, it'll be 13.
Back.
Yeah, it'll be 13, though.
Yeah.
And then if you're over 16, it goes to 14. If you're not heat. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not heat. So, yeah, so my straight shot cannot really hurt T-72s unless I got the Copperheads.
Okay, yeah. The copper, yeah.
So, like, the thing that's unique about the U.S. artillery is they got 3 upgrades you could purchase.
Yes.
And you can get them all 3 if you want. Bomblets is the one I've not used, and I just don't really see a use for it. Mainly because it seems like the anti-infantry type weapon.
Okay.
Because it's like fires a salvo.
Okay.
And it's one shot, but it's anti-tank 3 with a firepower 6.
Yeah.
That's not great, but it would just plow down a large area to keep down. So if it was against a mech unit, then it'd be decent. But being at one shot and you just never know. Then again, it's only 1 point period.
Now, is that 1 point for the whole unit or 1 point per tank?
1 point for the unit.
Okay.
And same thing with monoliths is also just 1 point for the upgrade. And this one I haven't used that much, but I have used it in one game, and I do find it use. It was playing the last game of when we went to the convention.
Yeah.
And how the battlefield turned out is like the U.S. had like one side of the battlefield control, so I wasn't worried. But then I realized in the center with one of the objectives, I had some ITVs and some MO-3s. And here comes like 8 T-72s at them. I was like, oh, this is going to turn really bad for me real quick. But I had every upgrade just to save points. So I dropped a monolith, which put 2 minefields right in front of them, which just stopped them right in their tracks because going through the minefield would just blow up the T-72s.
Okay, now, are minefields, how much do they cost?
One for the top, just one for the upgrade.
Now, is it can you shoot it each turn?
It's like the bombless is just once per game.
Okay. Now, what happens? Now, I know there's something like a courage test across it.
Yeah.
There's some other test, I think, to get rid of them or something.
If you have I think you need the.
I can't remember what it was. But what? Okay, let's say, boom, they go off. What?
Oh, I think it's like it's auto hits, anti-tank 5 to your top, 1 plus firepower.
Wow. No wonder they stopped.
I believe that's what it is. Let me look it up to be sure. But I'm relatively sure that's what it is.
Is it on their minefields here?
Yeah, I found it.
Okay.
Okay, you need to make a skill check
Okay.
to cross the
Was it skill check or courage?
skill.
Okay, hold on. If a unit wanted to cross one or more minefields, needs to make the courage test
Oh, just to do it.
just to do it. Otherwise, they halt. Okay.
But when you go into the minefield, you need to do a skill test. If you pass, you go through safely. If you failed, you get hit by a mine, which is, I'm right, anti-tank 5, 1 plus firepower.
and against top armor.
Yeah.
And this is on page 67 if people want to look it up. Another one is you can clear the minefield.
But you need to have a mine clearing device, which is an upgrade. It's not automatic for your T-72.
Right, and that's 1 point for up to 3 tanks. Okay, so you can just do normal artillery.
Yeah.
You can do the stray shot. You can throw bomblettes out. You can throw mines out, and that's all we need to talk about.
No.
What?
No. There's still one more upgrade. And unlike the others, which is just 1 point.
La 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 la.
Unlike the others, which is just 1 point for the entire upgrade, Copperheads, or the laser-guided projectiles, is 1 point per tank.
You know, I feel like whenever you say that word, I need to have like the beep just to cover it up. It's a bad word. Okay, so this is a little more expensive for you.
Yes, because it's 1 point per vehicle. So
you normally run six.
I always run 6, so there's 6 more. So that brings up my artillery to 20 points.
Wow, that's
a fifth of my army.
Yeah.
Because 6 normally is 14, so another 6 is 20. So it is not cheap. But
okay, so now what page are you on now?
55 is talking about the special artillery.
Okay.
And with this one is also need the fist, the fire.
So this is the observer.
The observer, because he needs to be the spotter to fire the Copperheads.
Okay.
But the Copperheads will turn my artillery. It still has the normal range of the artillery, but now it fires like a straight shot with a line of sight from the fist.
Yeah.
And I have to go. It has a minimum of 16 inches from my tanks.
Yeah, that was a question we had, and some other people had about 16-normal. It was like, where do you measure to 16? Is that from the observer, from the tanks? It's from the tanks.
It's from the tanks, and it's the minimum distance, up to its maximum range of 96 inches.
Okay.
But it's 1 shot per tank, anti-tank 21, 2+ firepower.
Wow.
Brutal guided heat. And the guided thing is the other thing is awesome, which means I can also shoot at Heinz, but at a +1 penalty.
Right.
But if Heinz are really bugging me and all my other anti-aircraft is not working, unless your Heinz is right on my artillery, in which case the minimum 16 matters, I can almost always fire at you because I can always see you.
Yep. Oh, I so hate. It just surprised me the first time I got hit by one of these. I was like, oh, they what?
Yeah. So the Copperheads is the main reason why I love the M109s. But it's not without this flaw, because, like I said, I need the fist. So if you can kill the fist or smoke the fist, so I could use someone else to spot, but I can't fire the Copperheads.
Right. Yeah, and it would be easy to smoke because you aren't actually targeting. Unlike Flames of War, you had to target a model. You can just target. I'm targeting this space. Yeah.
Of course, you need the smoke bombardment, but as U.S. soldiers, you could bring 3 if you really want.
Yes.
And just 3 coordinations. There's part of your formation. 3 coordinations. There's part of your support, and the rockets. And it's just smoke, smoke, smoke.
Yep.
So that's 3. If they all work, that's 3 rounds of I can't get my really expensive unit.
Yeah, because, man, those Copperheads are really nasty. Because you would think it's not a direct fire. It does the same arc as an artillery blast. It doesn't. It shoots over the trees and all this.
Oh, yeah.
And it hits the armor, not top, either side or front of how the enemy's facing you.
Facing the artillery, yeah.
And also, when I first saw this model, the barrel on this thing is huge.
Yeah, well, I just saw pictures of it. I'm like, okay, that's a sizable, bigger than average barrel. No, that barrel is almost bigger than some tanks.
Yeah, I can't wait till we're doing a demo tomorrow. And you're gonna you have one put together. I can't wait to put that thing out there and let people see it.
Yeah, I didn't have it. Did I have it done last week?
No, I don't think you did. No, I just know you put up on your video. You showed your some of the models you put together, and that was one of them.
Yeah.
And now I'm looking at the picture here. I'm going, yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So yeah, I will have to say The USA is more versatile with artillery. I just get, I can either do a salvo or a direct shot. Or no, I shouldn't say salvo. I could do an artillery shot. I could do a direct shot and smoke. And that's pretty much it. You've got that plus the bomblets, minelets, and the Copperheads.
Yeah, and smoke bombardment.
And those Copperheads can be used against aircraft. Not jets.
Not just because guided is I can't fire
on opponent's turn.
On the opponent's turn, I can only be on my turn.
Yeah.
In which case, they're long gone.
Yeah. So my suggestion is, if you're a Soviet player and there's somebody that's got those artillery out there with those go after the fist.
Yes.
You take out the fist, you don't have to worry about the Copperheads anymore.
Yeah, either that or just smoke the fist, and then run up and use that time to get up on them. Also, they're really easy to kill. They got like a front of 2.
Yeah, they're like an M113.
Yeah.
So if you can take out an M113, you can take one of these out.
Yeah, front 2, side 2, top 1.
They are harder to hit though because they get that gone to ground deal, don't they? Yeah, because they're observer.
Oh, you talking about the fist?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm just talking about shooting the M109s.
Yeah.
The vehicles themselves are really easy to kill if you can get to them.
It's just harder. You can hit the M119s or M113s. I'm going M113 versus the fist. The fist is a harder target to hit. The number to hit it's harder. Because it has those special rules about gone to ground.
Oh yeah, because it's probably not being shot at. But there's other vehicles nearby. I can redirect hits from the fist to those other vehicles.
Unless it's artillery.
Yeah, unless it's artillery.
All right, yeah. So I hate seeing these guys. Yeah, but it is an impressive looking model, and you do have a lot of options with it.
A lot.
That's new.
All right, something was kind of I didn't know about this in the game. It kind of hit me when we were doing a tutorial on the commander.
Yeah.
And it was it's on page 25 of your rule book, and it's about moving to another team. We just thought, okay, he died, made his 3+ save, so he moves to another unit. The same type. So if it's a tank, it's going to go to tank. It's going to replace a tank team from a unit. Or if it's infantry, it's going to replace an infantry team.
Yeah.
Or stand. But it has to be within 6 inches. So we like, when we play, we just, okay, I made my save, switch.
Yeah.
Can't do that.
Well, I think for the most part, we've been fine. But yeah, there's one particular restriction we probably not used to being keeping in mind. And that is it has to be a part of the formation.
Right. And what Arthur's talking about is you've got formation and you've got support. Yeah. So formation would be, if you have your HQ card, so I'm looking at the tank battalion for the Soviets, and it says HQ on the corner. On the back, those choices you have, units in the formation.
Yeah.
So he can replace anyone. He can, as long as it's a tank. That's a vehicle with wheels. Yeah. It doesn't say it can't be a transport.
Yeah.
Okay. Just a vehicle with wheels. He jumps into, if it's within 6 inches, he'll jump into that. If it's infantry, he's not going to. Now, if you're playing the BMP motor rifle battalion, and I'm looking at the HQ card, flip it over, there's the formation for that one.
Yeah.
And it has to be an infantry stand that he's going to replace within 6 inches. In the U.S.?
For the U.S., for the armored combat team, he has a lot of choices. There's more Abram tank options. The mech platoon, so he could take over the transport.
Right.
That's like a last resort.
Well, you know.
I guess it's better than being dead. The heavy mortars and the ITVs.
Yep. So ITV, interesting. But then it becomes its own. It's no longer part of that unit. Yep. It's its own thing, and it. So if that takes it down to one ITV left, they're going to take them around. If they get hit, and even if they make their save, they're going to take them around check, right? Because it'd be down to one.
Yeah.
Well, we'll check that out.
We checked it out and make sure.
So what? Now I'm looking at the Red Banner tank division for Soviets. What they cannot do this rule with is on the at the top you have like the Red Banner T-72 Tank Battalion, card number TS-101. Also next to it, it says Red Banner BMP Rifle Battalion, card number TS-103. So those tells you to go to those HQ cards. Underneath that, it says support units available for your force. So this is what your commander could not go into. So for the Soviets, it can't be the Carnation, except for there is one unit on the HQ card that is Carnation also. So Soviets can have 2 units of Carnation. So I think if you do both,
Exactly.
you're going to have to
keep track of which one is which.
Yeah, so you're going to say, this is the one from my formation, this is the one from support.
And it double matters because if it's part of the formation, it counts towards your formation morale.
That's so true.
So if you lose that one, but keep the support one, that hurts you for morale.
Yep. The Hell Rocket pickup, you can't jump into that pickup and start running around as the HQ. I think this is true for both. It's the observation post. Yours is a fist.
Yeah, it's also an independent team.
Yeah. So can't take over the observation. If I have the recons, so if they're recon, I can't take it over. Of course, you can't take over a hind. Land that helicopter here so I can jump on it. Jump in it and go. No helicopter and no frogfoot.
Yeah.
So those are anything on that card that says support, your HQ cannot. If he fails that save and that's all that's around him, he's dead.
And the other thing is like, probably won't matter to you since you seem to be content of using a single formation. But personally, I'm looking at the option to play with multiple formations, which have the added bonus, but the added penalty of I have to remember when that commander dies, he could hop into another part of that same formation. So even though I have 2 different formations, he can't swap in from the other formation. So that's another restriction to being having multiples.
Yep.
And I forgot what the thing will.
Oh, if you're down to 1, about being in good spirits.
Yeah.
So, unit is not in good spirits, needs to take a morale test at the end of shooting assault phase in which it had a team destroyed or bailed out. Now, taking it over was not destroyed or bailed out.
Okay, so he'll only have to make a check if he gets bailed out.
Yes.
And if he gets destroyed, well, he's already gone.
So that was something I didn't know until we started doing that tutorial on that, and I learned something new, so we thought we'd share the information there, because I don't know, all the games I've played with people, nobody has brought it up.
Yeah, it just never occurred to me. And which is also interesting because your commander could join things only from your formation or support, but he can only take over his formation.
Yeah, if his vehicles are, if he would normally die, but he made that 3+ save, then that's where that restriction kicks in.
Yes.
All right, soldier, at ease. What is it?
Sir, I just got the recon report in. There's some interesting developments in it. The report says...
All right, for this episode, you wanted to talk about magnets.
Yes. I finally got some magnets for my tanks, and I use the ones that Battlefront suggested, because I was looking I found them by looking at the production guide or assembly guide for the Abrams, and it mentions they'll come with magnets, but you can buy some here. So those are the ones I bought.
And the number is XX. Let me try this again. XX, so double X, 105 rare earth magnets. So if you're going to look at Flames of War, Team Yankee, the catalog number is XX105. And they say they're 1 millimeter by 5 millimeters. So that's like 1/32 of an inch by 3/16 of an inch.
Yeah. And I noticed those are the same size as the magnets that comes with the aircraft.
Okay.
So, first thing I noticed is like I compared to the magnets you use because I've been using your tanks, and that's what I was kind of expecting. And what's the size of the magnets you use?
I get mine, kind of let people know, I get them from K&J Magnetics. and it's number D31-N52. So if you want to order the same ones I did, because I'm really happy with these magnets. But they're very similar. They're 3/16 of an inch also, but they're 1/16 of an inch thick. So they're double the thickness of yours.
Okay. Because I could really compare them because I got them on my Abrams and you got your magnets on your Abrams, so I can really compare the difference. And for me, I prefer Battlefronts for the Abrams because yours, while I try to put the turrets on, it almost like the magnet pulls it out of my hand.
Yeah, like snap.
And I don't like that feeling. Whereas the ones I have, it doesn't really notice that. But once I put it on, I can let go and just holds it tight. Now, I will say it doesn't really hold tight for the aircraft. I think the aircraft needs a really stronger magnet. But the way they built the aircraft, I'm not sure where you can really get a better magnet. Except for, you said yours are thicker?
Yeah, mine are going to be where the ones you're talking about are like 1/32 of an inch. Mine are 1/16, so it's double the thickness.
Okay, so yours might work, except for you need to use it for aircraft. You need to drill into the stand, and so it's in there deep, and then put the magnet in because it will take up twice as much space. Because they got it set up so the magnet is just their magnet is just the right size, so you could hook them on each on the model, and it just sits perfectly. So to use the thicker ones, you need to drill in there. So I will suggest like thicker ones for the aircraft, but I actually like these magnets for the Abrams. What I do not like them for is my M109s, since they're mostly metal and.
Are we talking about that artillery again?
Yes, we're talking about the artillery again. But the magnets I have are just not powerful enough because while I put them on, it won't. It's like it's nothing there. I can't remember the magnets I bought before these, which are too big to fit in the slot for the Abrams. But these things are for stronger. Is what I have in my M113s, and those are perfectly for my M109s. So I do like them for my Abrams. I don't like them for aircraft, and they definitely do not work for the M109s.
Well,
and I have one more issue with them is while I bought them the magnets, they came in like a small plastic bag, which is really would not be a big deal, except for if you make a big order from Battlefront, which comes in a large box with peanuts and everything. That thing was almost impossible to find. I almost contacted customer service and said, you didn't send me my magnets because I couldn't find them. And I almost tossed it out. But before I did that, I poured it out on the floor. Still did not see it until I put all the packing peanuts back in the box, and I noticed something on the floor.
Here's the secret. Take like your stainless steel knife or something and rub it through, and it should catch the magnets if they're in there.
Yeah, it didn't occur to me. I thought it would be in like maybe a small box or something hard plastic, like the magnets I bought. It was in like a hard plastic, or just something colorful. But it is so easy to miss. Yeah. And if you order from Battlefront, that's a lot. That's a big issue I have with the magnets.
Well, that wraps up another episode of War Journal, Flames of War. Your host, Arthur and Tracy, thank you for listening to this episode. You can find us on iTunes. If you like the episode, please subscribe and leave a positive review. You can find us on Facebook at Flames of War. And please like us. In addition, you can follow us on Twitter at warjournal_FOW. You can also find us on YouTube. Search for Tracy George, Flames of War. You can read Arthur's blog at chaosmagicwizards.blogspot.com. Finally, you can email us at warjournalflamesofwar@gmail.com. War Journal Flames of War is all one word, so no spaces are required.
Also, please share the show on any social media of your choice. So, until next time, as always, have a good game.